Hello, and welcome to Time to Talk Tuesdays with me, Bekkah. Remember the miracle that you truly are. In the world of form and being human, and the hustle bustle of everyday life, we forget the miracle that we truly are. There is a power within every single human, in every soul. There is a power, there is an indestructible energy within you that has the answers to everything you are looking for. This power doesn't have one name, it doesn't have one ultimate truth. There are so many people in the world that there are so many names you can give this power. But what I am pointing to is a universal truth, an underlying miracle that you are, that lives within you and every single human being. There's a video I heard the other day by a lady called Judith Sedgman, who, like me, she also shares this understanding known as the three principles. And I invite you to get in a comfortable space where you can sit or lie, or maybe you're doing the washing up, but in a very comfortable space, like a meditative space, where you can listen to this video from that space of that power that I am pointing to, from your heart, from a space deep within you that can listen to Judith's words and truly feel the miracle, the gift that you truly are.
I'm Judy Sedgman, and as I record this at this moment, I am 80 years old, and I've been a principles practitioner for more than 30 years. So that's almost half my adult life. And before that, I wasn't very peaceful. I didn't live a peaceful life. I was unhappy, but I did not live a peaceful life. And so I want to talk to you about what is peace as part of the project that Three Principles Global Community is putting together. And the first thing I want to say is that peace, we think of peace as something external to us. If people would just make peace, if we could just have peace, if there were just more peaceful people, if there wasn't war. And that's really kind of a backwards way to look at it, because people who do not feel at peace within can't make peace. Peace is the source of peace is within us, and no one can inflict it on us, and no one can bring it to us, and no one can make us feel it. It comes from us. And when I first got a glimpse of that, it occurred to me that, well, that's terrible, because how can you get a bunch of people to find peace within themselves? And then if you found it, wouldn't you lose it in the face of events and things? So that's a natural question. And I didn't really see the answer to it until I met Sydney Banks, who was the person who made the discoveries that today are resulted in the three principles being widespread across the world. So what is peace? Peace is a mind at rest. Peace is a mind connected both to the source and to the expression. Meaning this, that when your mind is at rest, and your personal thoughts are not roiling in your head or troubling you or acting up, so to speak. You both are aware of your spiritual nature, of the fact that there's an energy that flows through us that is the source of life, that we can only know because we're alive, but we can't know except as life itself flowing through us. So we become aware of it through an understanding that it's a miracle, isn't it? That this whole universe exists and there's energy flowing through everything. And that energy is neutral. It generates all possibilities. And in our lives, not to get into the whole universe here, in our lives, what we make of it, what we create from it, determines whether we have peace or not. And that's kind of amazing. So what peace is a mind fully at rest, connected both to its origin and the potential for expression. A quiet mind. It's also our true nature. So when you're not caught up in your personal thinking, we default to peace within. And in that state of mind, we can imagine and we can envision and we can intuit new things, answers, solutions, opportunities, a world at peace, including ourselves and the people around us. Well, you don't look for it. And the most beautiful thing about understanding the three principles at work is that you don't have to do anything to be a happy, peaceful human being. It's what we are when we're not caught up in our thoughts, when we understand how thought works, when we can heed the warning signs that we're getting caught up and step back from it. Peace, we fall into peace. We don't create peace. We don't find peace out there somewhere. We fall into it naturally with deeper and deeper understanding of the nature of our spiritual life and the nature of life itself. So where we find it is within ourselves. And if you want to observe us falling into peace, look at babies, because they come in with what my colleague George Pransky always calls the starter kit. When they're not upset about something, they're at peace. There's nothing more thrilling than watching a little baby just look around and just be filled with wonder and joy at what they see in life, and with love, and with giggles and happiness. That bubbles up naturally. You don't have to teach a baby to laugh. So you don't have to worry about it. We just look in that direction, and we look to understand, and we find it.
How can we access peace during challenging times?
So at this particular time in our history, I don't know when you'll be watching this tape, but at this particular time in our history, there's not a lot of peace in the world. And one of the questions people always have is, how can you stay at peace in all this turmoil, in difficult times, either in your personal life or just in the world? How can people believe in peace when there's so much war and strife and anger and hatred and differences? How do you stay peaceful when everything around you is a mess? we've learned over the years that falling into the habits of the mess never produces anything new. And truthfully, how most of us find peace in the midst of chaos is that we know deep down that the answers that we're looking for don't exist in the world right now. We haven't thought of them yet. No one's thought of them yet, or we wouldn't have this problem. And the only way to find answers is from the depths and the stillness of your own mind. That's where wisdom lives. We're in touch with our own wisdom when our minds are quiet. And so in difficult times, it becomes even more critical to us as human beings to look there, to say, okay, I've got to just quiet down. I've got to look deeper. I've got to see beyond all this stuff that's going on. And amazingly, in our personal lives, that's when we see solutions. Sometimes surprising us. Sometimes we think of something that, oh my gosh, I've never thought of that before. That's perfect. Or we find understanding. We look at a person who's suffering and who's in anguish mentally. And instead of getting angry with them or sort of fostering that, our hearts go out to them because we know that their mind is not at rest. That in the state of mind they're in, they can't see better than they see. We can only do the best we can do in the state of mind, the level of understanding that we're in. So how we access peace in difficult times is to be cognizant of the fact that that's where the answers are. If you want to be a peacemaker, if you want to solve problems, that's where you look. You look in the unknown. And the unknown is always available to us. What we don't know yet is always available to us when our minds are quiet and we're just reflecting. We're allowing new thoughts to come bubble up. And over time, we call that living from wisdom rather than living from trying to figure everything out. Wisdom is a wonderful thing because when a wise thought occurs to you that's helpful to you or helpful to the world or whatever, you know it. And how do you know it? It comes with a beautiful feeling of, okay, I see. We've all experienced that moment where you go, oh yeah, that makes perfect sense. It's not like a revolution that comes. It's just a quiet, helpful, meaningful understanding that helps us all.
Why would peace be a good option during challenging times?
And why that's important is because the more strife that we face, the more difficulties we face, the more problems we have to solve, the more of a mess we've made that we need to clean up, so to speak. The more we get frantic looking at our life thinking, oh my God, or looking at the world thinking, how are we ever going to fix this? The more we all need to look at peace, to look towards peace, to find peace within, because that's where all the answers are. Over the course of history, there have been a lot of forced peace moments, times when bitter enemies, for their own self-interest, something for each of them, sign treaties, but they don't feel any compassion for each other. They haven't resolved their differences. They just agree, okay, we'll divide things this way, or we'll put an end to this particular conflict because it's in neither of our best interest to keep going. And those things always lead to further unrest and further difficulty. There's never been a false peace that's led to lasting change. It's usually some other difficulty that arises from it because it wasn't genuine. Genuine solutions come from wisdom shared, in which people quiet down and look at each other and see a human being doing the best they can with the understanding that they have, and recognize that we're all the same that way. We're all the same that way. No one's special. No one is any better than anyone else. We're just living at various levels of understanding how life works. And there's infinite capacity in each one of us to keep looking beyond our current state. And the more we look within rather than out there for solutions, the more we see. So peace is a beautiful thing. It's natural to us. It's what I always think it's what we were meant to enjoy. The way we come into the world, that's our birthright. That we're meant to live at peace, and joy, and appreciation, and gratitude for what we have, and the love of life. And then we also have the ability to think our way away from it. But it never goes anywhere. It's like peace is home base, and we're out there in the field somewhere, but home base hasn't changed. It's still there. We can go back that way. And it's one soul at a time. But if we really want to live at peace, the place to start is within ourselves. And the rewards are just enormous. Because as you experience it, you see better how to share it and how to bring it to fruition with ideas. So, wishing you peace.
If you chose to lie down and close your eyes, gently open your eyes, wiggle your fingers and your toes, bring your awareness back into the space that you're in, bring your awareness back into your body. And just breathe in the feeling of love and peace. Breathing your birthright. The fact that you are a miracle. You're a living, breathing miracle. And it is your birthright to be at peace. If you have any questions, please feel free to leave them at the bottom of this video or email me. Sending you lots of love and lots of peace.